What I've learned in the past week is that Love and Deep Space fans are immensely passionate about the game that they play. They're really big fans of the game, and they can also be really passionate about their anger at the game and the anger that they feel. Obviously, this is about the Valkyrie situation. I talked about that about a week ago at this point, and it was just kind of crazy to see how much mobilization there still is to try and get this character back into the game. It is unbelievable how much I've seen about people making these campaigns, making these just posts, making a bunch of like other things, just like saying this is how we can get the character to be brought back into the game. And it's just legitimately crazy that it's this like intense still, and it's this intense and has been going on for as long as it has. Especially when like there's actually like legitimate, it seems to be legitimate misinformation campaigns as well, who are trying to counter the people who want to bring Valko back. So you have a combat between the two sides on this issue. One of the big things that has been going on with the entire situation is like boycotts of the game. There have been people who have legitimately been boycotting the game, like this tweet right here, where it says, "This is a reason to boycott," and it's saying that Xiaohong Shu will hurt the people's efforts to bring Valko back, and it kind of shows that people are still like playing the game. And then logging in will literally undo all your work. So stay off the game, don't spend money, and don't pull for banners. And then hashtag boycott Love and D Space, bring back Valko, and just all these other hashtags. And this account we're going to see a couple more times just because they're tweeting about this a lot. And like they just showed up when I was trying to search for information about everything that's going on. So we'll see this person a couple more times. But they have also been very vocal about this boycott and every sort of motion to bring back this character. As you can see right here with how many hashtags and just trying to organize people to make sure that they get the character back in the game, and that hopefully that this boycott is successful for them. I guess this is like a part of the misinformation campaign, or is people being kind of dumb. I can't really tell. It says a Justice for Valko account, so it seems like they're trying to do the like a thing to get the character back into the game. But they basically said, like, instead of boycotting, let's support the game and show how happy we are and show that we're there for Valko and don't leave bad reviews. And it just says that they might shut down the game for global players because no one wants to invest in a bad game. And they're trying to say that they're also trying to go to Taiwan instead of just being in China, which is a kind of absolutely random claims. And then you have people who are just fighting back on this like strategy here, saying they're not going to shut down the servers, they're not going to go to Taiwan. This is just entirely fear mongering. Just keep on boycotting and keep on being allowed. You have legitimately like strategic planning going on here to best maximize how to get this character back into Love and D Space. It's crazy what's going on right now. It is one of the biggest mobilizations that we've seen in a while, with just any sort of gaming like community banding together to try and get a character back into the game. We have legitimately people trying to perfect the process of getting this character in the back into the game so that everyone acts in the same exact way. Also, another thing about the strategy like kind of being similar is that they're trying to make it so that all the focus on this is just specifically on the game. They don't want to talk about any other company or any other rumors. They're literally just specifically saying we have to focus on getting this one character specifically back in the game. Focus on only the character and only the game that we're playing and nothing else. Don't fall into any rumors. They're making it so that their strategy is as consolidated as humanly possible, such that they can like entirely force their effort into just one specific point and basically try to break down the developers to eventually bring this character back. We have people going into Queso's chat and like gifting subs for in support of Valko to bring him back. You have people like talking about like Valko in the chat right here as well as people saying wonderful messages like let it crust, but that's entirely whatever. So we have people voting for Valko. We have Valko certified floor mat who had donated 2,500 bits to Queso, basically just saying that we need to support Valko and also get the character back. And Queso himself actually got some donations supporting Valko, and he, I guess, came out in support of Valko as well. Let's watch this clip.
Valko, not long ago, just for his release to be canceled due to massive hate towards the character from one side of the player base, and Biddy said it's because he's ugly, which is crazy. What? What? Cause he ugly? What game is that? Love and Deep Space, and they didn't bring out the character because they said he ugly. That's messed up. They wrong for that. Well, hopefully they bring him, they release him anyway.
So obviously, Queso does kind of randomly know about a bunch of random shit, but I guess he didn't know about this, and he still was in support of it. He was still in support of bringing the character back. Perfect framing for this, and he is in full support of bringing the character back. And so one of the biggest streamers in the entire world right now has advocated for returning Valko back to the game. and has just completely reanimated the momentum overall for bringing the character back and hoping that the developers hear the cries of the people. It's gotten big enough that IGN is actually like posting about the movement and stuff of this sort. We had this cosplayer who went around Expo as Valko, and all these other cosplayers who are going in support of the character, and just I think it's crazy that this event got big enough and that the movements to show support to the character that got canceled has made it all the way to IGN. Like, I get they're a gaming company, but just the fact that it was able to get this much motion to get a gaming news publisher to talk about it is just crazy. And as you can see, they're holding vigils out for the character Anime Expo as they're all sad about the loss of their beloved character, about their beloved like wolf boy. I think that's what he is. And just everyone is so sad that he is gone. And you can see how much they wrote about this too. This is an impressively long article for movements to bring back Valko. We can see all the more pictures that they posted of the vigils that they're holding for Valko being gone and in our memories forever. And then one final thing, there is a petition that's going on that I guess has 230,000 signatures, which is absolutely insane. You don't really see this many signatures for anything at all online in any capacity. The fact that this was able to get over 230,000 signatures and seemingly increasing as time goes on, as you can see, I guess a lot of people are signing on it seconds ago, which I don't know how accurate this is, but they're really pushing for it. And this is under a week this amount of support has happened. I don't really know if the developers of Love and Deep Space are going to care. I'm going to be real, but it's cool to see that there are so many people who are have backed this character in the game. Like, once again, I'm covering this as someone who has legitimately never played the game at all and like has barely ever seen any clips of it. I think I've seen the most amount of clips, and I mean like 99.9999% of it in the last week just because of this massive controversy. That's the bro I've seen the most content about it. I don't even play like gotchas or anything like that at all, any capacity. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, but they did mention like polling or whatever. So I think that's kind of what it is in this similar area. I think it's just cool to see how many people are packing in support of this character and how we've apparently gotten to the point where they're organizing in specific ways. They're trying to have like consistent messaging and having it so that everyone knows exactly how to target developer specifically by not logging into the game and not falling into any sort of like rumors, anything like that, and going out and looking at any other games. They have gotten their messages like tight and exactly what to do. They're organizing really well for this character. They're doing vigils at like the high quality or high visibility events. They've just got it down in the bag. And it's crazy to see that this is all over a canceled love interest in a dating simulator game, which I guess has other shit in it, which I don't really know. I've heard stuff about it that I don't really remember, but I guess it's not just a dating game, even though everything I've seen about it is just making it a dating game. I have legitimately no idea, really, and maybe I'll find out more as the entire situation escalates, especially if they somehow add him back, which I think that'll be a day of parading and celebration on the timeline. People would be popping champagne, people would be crying, people would be hugging their loved ones. It'd be just pandemonium in the streets in support of bringing back this character, but we'll see. I have no idea how receptive the Chinese developers are to international fans, because obviously we saw they're really receptive to the Chinese fans. That's kind of like a big one of this initial controversies that they listen to the Chinese fans more than the American fans or the international fans, I guess. So I don't really know, but it does seem like if there is at least enough of a massive portion of their fan base being like boycotting the game, they might just say, hey, all right, we have to back out of this and put the character back into the game. Another thing too is that I've seen, I guess, the people who originally like sent some of the funeral flowers and like the death curses or whatever to the headquarters, the developers headquarters have like had some legal action taken against them. I don't know if that's true or not. I really have no idea how to check. Now I've also seen people try to signal that like the attacks on the game are gonna make it so that China bans this genre game in its entirety. I don't think that second part's true. I don't know if I wouldn't be shocked if the first point is true, because it is kind of an insane thing to kind of just put like death wishes to people and developers in a game because you don't like the character that they put into the game. And I have no idea how to check if that's true or not. I've tried to find out evidence of it happening other than just like people saying hearsay. So we'll see if that's something that happens as well. It's just a rapidly developing situation. We'll see. The people win, the masses win, or the developers of Love and Deep Space hold strong in their unwillingness to put the character back into the game. Only time will tell. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.